Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Sabrina and I am the owner of Stuffies. I love to make and design stuffy patterns for hand knitting or finger knitting. So today I will be announcing and showing you my brand new pattern. It is a 5-in-1 pattern and it is actually going to be a whole entire new stuffy line kind of. I think you guys are going to be so excited about this pattern. I know that I am. I've been working on these patterns for the past couple of months and it is time to finally share with you what I've been working on. Or at least the first pattern, which is a 5-in-1 pattern that will be coming out very soon. So I hope you're excited to see what is to come this year as far as the direction that I'm going with tutorials this year. This year I'll also definitely be doing a number of stuffy tutorials of the stuffies that I've had for a few years now. So I will be bringing those up as well throughout the year and coming out with those tutorials. A few, but this year the primary focus is my brand new stuffy line. So I hope you guys love it because there's going to be a lot of them that are coming out. So the first one that will be coming out is the 5-in-1 bear pattern. I think you guys are going to really love it. I'll show it to you in just a second. But I figured I'd take you kind of through the thought process of these stuffies, what it looked like for me to kind of design these stuffies, what I think you guys are going to really love about these patterns and why they're great for market prep or also just selling them in general. I think the bear patterns especially are going to be popular for this time of year. Valentine's Day is coming up. I'm getting them out a little bit later than I would have hoped. Bears go really great with Valentine's Day, but I think that they'll also be really well loved for kind of decor for nurseries as well, or just anyone who loves bears. So as of right now, I'm calling this kind of line of stuffies stand-up stuffies. If you've been following me for a long time and you've been seeing my stuffies for a long time, you'll know that I tend to make my stuffies how animals stand. So I have the body and then the stuffies are standing on their four legs if they're an animal that stands on their four legs. So that's typically the approach that I've always taken with my stuffies, is to kind of make them traditional to the animal. So like my penguins are of course standing up. I think one that's not really super traditional is my Felix the Fox pattern. That one is standing up and it's really big. So these stuffies are going to have a little bit of a different style to them. They are animals that stand upright instead of on their four legs, but we'll get into all of that maybe a little bit later. So before I continue on, let me go ahead and show you these bears and what I'm talking about. I'll show you the very first one that I created, and it is this adorable little brown bear. This one doesn't have a little tail on it. This one does. And then for this one, I did add a like tan snout to it. So you could technically make one with or without a different color snout. So those are the brown bears. That's the first one. And then the second one is a panda bear. This one I use felt eyes. I just prefer to use felt eyes if it has the black yarn in the background like I do on my ladybug. So I did just order some smaller felt eyes. I do feel like these are a little bit big. So going forward, when I make these for like markets, I'll definitely have some smaller felt eyes on the panda. The next one is the polar bear. Again, this one has a little tail on the back as well. The last of like a regular type of bear is the koala bear. So those are the four regular, traditional, actual animal type of bears. And then the last one I figured I would kind of just throw in as just a fun one to make it a 5-in-1 pattern, and also really great for people who love candy. So we just have a regular gummy bear, no eyes or anything. So this is just the regular pattern with no extra color changes or anything specific. So this one is just kind of an added bonus. I'm still debating whether or not to call this a 4-in-1 pattern plus a bonus or make it a 5-in-1 pattern. Let me know in the comments what you think I should do. So those are the bears and what I have been working on. So I do have a 3-in-1 bear pattern, which I haven't come out yet. I'm thinking later this year, maybe at the end of the year, I'll probably do the other bear pattern that I have. Again, it's just that traditional standing on four legs pattern. So I will probably hopefully do that at the end of the year, so you guys can have that as well if you've been waiting for that pattern. But for right now, I am going to be releasing the pattern for the stand-up bears. So I think that they ended up being super cute. I love that I have a little koala now. But as far as the names, I decided to stick with the names that I have for my other bear patterns. So that is Benny the bear, Pepper the panda, and Polly the polar bear. And then I just decided to call them 2.0. So this is Benny the bear 2.0, Pepper the bear 2.0, and you get the idea. I figured that would kind of just keep it simple. I don't want to have too many names. And then of course, like if you're making these and you wanted to come up with your own names, you could totally do that too. But I figured I'm still going to be doing a little bit of markets this year. I have a bunch of sticker graphics that I bring to my markets that people love. So I figured it would just be easy because each of the graphics have the name as well. So I figured it would just be easy to keep the names the same. And then, a panda's a panda, even though it has a completely different look to it. And then the graphics, of course, look more traditionally like a panda or a polar bear standing on their four legs. So I figured I'd just keep the names for these ones, and then the only one we'll have to come up with a name for is the koala bear, since I don't have a koala bear yet. So I will be doing an Instagram reel at some point for name suggestions for the koala bear. So keep a lookout for that reel if you want to help me name the koala, and then we'll vote on the name for this one. And then the gummy bear, I don't think we'll be doing a name for that. Okay, so now that I showed you the bears, let me kind of take you through my thought process behind these patterns and why I decided to create them. So one thing you might notice are these bumps here, which are the hands and legs, and then the tail and the ears. So these use the bobble stitch that I used in my Christmas tree pattern. So if you liked the Christmas tree pattern and you like doing the bobbles, I think you guys are gonna really love this pattern as well. So it has the regular bobble stitch, and then between all of these bears, they have certain variations of the bobble stitch as well. So the snout and the ears are different variations of the bobble than these ones down here, and then these are different variations as well, which you probably can't quite tell just by looking at the pattern. I think if you guys loved doing the bobble stitch in the Christmas tree pattern, I think you guys are going to have a lot of fun with these patterns as well. Another thing about these bears, or this whole stuffy line that I'm going to be coming out with, which you guys haven't seen all the rest of them yet, but what I really love about these patterns is that they're completely no-sew. So they are super easy and quick to make. You're not sewing on any extra pieces. They're great for market prep as well, of course, because you can make them super quick and you don't have to worry about making separate pieces and then attaching them. So I love that they are no-sew. Not all of the stuffies in the entire stuffy line are going to be completely no-sew, but they will be all pretty much low-sew. But all of the bears are completely no-sew at all. So I think you guys are going to really love that about the bear 5-in-1 pattern. And then another really fun thing to note about these stand-up patterns is that the way that the body and the head attach is much different than I've seen other patterns. So you're not going to be making one piece and then closing it up and then knitting into like the body to make the head, or vice versa. So I kind of came up with a new way to make the flow much easier going from the body to the head, or the head to the body, which I think you guys are going to really love and appreciate about this pattern as well. As you're knitting, everything just flows nicely together from bottom to top. So I think you guys are going to really enjoy that aspect of these patterns as well. So that's all I can really think of right now as far as the design process and kind of what to expect with these patterns coming out. Let me know in the comments if there's any specific questions that you have about these patterns coming out, specifically the 5-in-1 bear pattern. I won't be sharing too much or showing the next patterns that will be in this stand-up stuffy line quite yet, but I will tell you the next one that will be coming out, and that is bunnies. So spring, Easter is coming up. Bunnies are super popular around this time, so I felt like I needed to create a bunny pattern. So I created a bunny pattern. I think that it's one of my favorites. It's actually going to be a 4-in-1 pattern. So there's 4 different options on how to do the nose and how to do the ears, 2 of each, so making it a 4-in-1 pattern. I think you guys are going to absolutely love this bunny pattern that is coming out after the bear pattern. I keep saying that you guys are going to absolutely love it, so I really hope that you do love it and you do enjoy these patterns. But I have been really nervous and Also excited to announce these and just get these patterns out there because I really enjoyed the creative process behind these and just figuring out how to get everything to work together, figuring out all the different variations of the bobble and figuring out kind of how to make them work so I can design all these different types of things. So you have like the koala bear who has the nose that's kind of vertical and more thin, but then you have a more rounded nose on the other bears. So it's been really fun trying to figure out and design these patterns. So it's my hope that you guys really love and enjoy this pattern as much as I do. So I think that's about it. Please let me know if you have any questions. I will be showing and announcing them on my Instagram probably starting tomorrow, and we'll start getting things rolling as far as the tester call and just releasing the pattern. My hope is to get the pattern out live and ready a few days before Valentine's Day. That way you guys have at least a few days to make these if you are hoping to make some bears for Valentine's Day. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching as I share about my new pattern coming out and this whole new Stuffy line that's coming out as well. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye!